I'm going to be showing how to make a delicious banga soup ever. So I'm using turkey goat meat as my protein. Yeah, then dry fish and stockfish. The real stockfish, this is not the head. Okay, then I chopped some onion and crayfish. Crayfish is washed and clean. I'm going to blend it in my blender. Yeah, I'm going to use my food processor. So I have shrimps. Those are dry shrimps. Very tasty and nice for your soups. So I have some seasoning cubes and salt to taste. So this is dawadawa, powdered dawadawa. I got it from my local African shop. Yeah. So this is the original one from African dawadawa. It adds great flavor to your soup. Yeah, so I have palm fruit juice. I have two types. So I'm just kind of contemplating which one to use, but I think the Liberian one, it's better. Okay, so now let's begin with adding the goat meat to the pot. Yeah, I'm gonna steam this goat meat for I'm gonna cook for like 15 minutes. So I'm using two pots. So in the other pot, I have my stockfish because it's a bit tough. It's really tough. So I'm gonna cook with a turkey. Yeah. The stockfish was washed with salt, thoroughly washed. Okay, so I'm adding some salt to the turkey and stockfish and to the goat meat as well. I have my seasoning cubes. Oh, it's hard. Stone cold. The weather here leaves those stuff stone cold. So I added some oregano. Yeah, very little because it's soup. You don't have to add too much, just a little bit. So this is me trying to blend the onion and the crayfish. I'll be using my food processor. I would love it in a puree form because this is soup. So I don't want beets, onion beets in my soup. So it's going to be in puree form. Okay, so I added some water. I blended. This is what it looks like. Smooth. I added to the stockfish and the turkey. That turkey, actually, yeah, that turkey is smoked. It was fully smoked, so it's very tasty. You need to try it if you haven't tried it before. Like, it's really nice for any kind of meal you want to make. So I added some to the goat meat. Remember in this, I have crayfish, pepper, onion. Yeah. So this is gonna make it's gonna give it a great taste and make your meat tasty and flavorful. So this is Banga spice that I just added to the goat meat. I love the taste and aroma. Yeah, when it's when I have it right in the meat. So that's optional though. Your Some people love to add it towards the end of the soup or when the food has cooked halfway. But I love to add mine early. So you stir and cover and let it cook for 15 minutes. So this is my seasoning cubes. Remember, I crushed it in my mortar because it was stone cold. The weather here wouldn't let me, use my hands to crush the seasoning cubes. So I added to the goat meat. You see, it has cooked for 15 minutes and the juice is already there, but I'm gonna let it dry. So that was my dry fish. I'm trying to debone it. Okay. So this is me trying to blend the dry shrimp in my dry meal. Soup is looking good. At this point, I added my dry fish because I'm using asa. This is a really nice fish, like the king of all fishes. Really nice. So it's not too tough. So that's why I'm adding it at this point. I don't want it to break into pieces. So I added more banga seasoning. As you can see, it was dry, like the pot was dry. I let the steam and like the water from the protein dry back into the protein. Like I don't need extra water for the soup. The only water I need is the palm fruit juice. So this is the dry shrimp. It's very tasty. I love it. I love to use it for my soups. That was dawadawa. I had to blend it. Like I pounded it in my mortar, added some water, stirred. I'm gonna pour it into the soup. I was saving the crayfish like towards the end of the cooking. Yeah, yeah, the dry shrimp rather. So I prefer to add it towards the end of the cooking for the flavor and everything. So this is the palm fruit juice. I got two types. I think I love the Liberian one. It really gave me the taste. Like I tasted it and it was nice. It has this natural, the real natural taste um of palm kernel, because here we can't find the real like the fresh palm kernel we have back at home. We can't find it here. It's not here. So this is what we use as a substitute. But that the Liberian one was really good. It tasted like real palm nuts. So I think I'm gonna be using it going forward. So I boiled hot water and I'm gonna mix with hot water. So I have this water because you need to mix this like with the hot water. It's very important because if you just watch, relax and watch what happens. I'm gonna show you something. Stir properly. So I'm going to add some seasoning cubes to the pot. As you can see, there's no water in the pot. I let the water dry up, dry back into the fish and the turkey. So that way it's gonna be very tasty. Like the stockfish and everything in there is gonna be very tasty. So now I'm pouring in the palm juice, palm fruit juice, yeah. So just watch slowly when you're doing this. When you're pouring this in, be careful slowly because most times you're gonna have some dirt. I was gonna reserve that for my egusi soup, but on a second thought, I said no, since I have an extra one in the fridge. So look at the bottom. You can see some black stuffs. Those are dirts. Yeah, those are dirts or sand, whatever. So you don't want that in your soup. So always use hot water to dissolve your palm fruits before cooking. Most people don't do that. So now I love this crayfish seasoning cubes. Wow, look how strong it is. It won't let me. Stone cold because of the weather. So I had to crush it in my mortar. So this is a crayfish. At this point, this is when I love to add this is actually dry shrimp. It's very tasty. You need to be careful when you're using this. Very tasty, just as sweet as seasoning cubes. So I reserved that little one for the last. Yeah, I love to reserve that crayfish. Yeah, the dry shrimps. I saved that one for the end, for the last, at the end of the cooking. I'm gonna add it. It has this special taste and sweetness it gives you. If you're the type that doesn't love to use a lot of seasoning, you can substitute with that. It's very nice. Dry shrimps. Okay, at this point, I introduced my goat meat. Because I had cooked it, it was like, I think the goat meat is like 80% done. Yeah, 80% ready. So this is me trying to clean. That's one thing with this soup. It's always kind of messy. You're going to have splashes all over the place. All right, so I added my goat meat. Seriously, at this point, the food is ready. All ready. This is me trying to taste, making sure, you know, everything is really tasting, salt, pepper, whatever, seasoning, and it was perfect. I decided to add, you know, the crayfish I reserved. And then this is the dawadawa that yeah, it's called dawadawa. I don't know what it's called in English. Yeah. So I added some more Banga spices. This is one I got from African store. Yeah. I adjusted with more seasoning. Yeah, you know, here in Africa, I don't know. I decided to taste it to make sure it's not going to ruin my soup. And come on, it was bitter. Unusually bitter. I had to reduce it. Like I reduced the quantity. These things they sell for us, I don't get it. I got it from my local African shop here. Oh, that tasted different from what I used to know back home. So now this is it. Food is ready. Look at the stockfish. It is, look at it. This is why I love to use that stockfish because it stays intact. It doesn't break. If you're a stockfish lover, then you're gonna love it. Yeah, our soup is ready. Yum, yum, yum. You can actually use this soup to eat rice, plantain, yam, beans, what have you. Yeah. Okay, so I made a pounded yam. Yeah. I'm using pounded yam ola ola to enjoy this goodness. It was so good. Yeah, maybe my next one I'm gonna show how I made it. It's just simple, just like the way you make your regular semovita. Whoa, look at that. I had a taste. I had a big bite from that turkey. It was so, so tasty. Like the soup was so delicious. I'm going to use it for rice tomorrow. Have you tried this before? This is called Banga soup. Yeah. If you haven't, I urge you to try it. It's all purpose. You can use it for your white rice, beans, plantain, yam, potatoes. Yeah. So delicious. Thanks for watching.